You're listening to Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. We're coming to you from the unceded traditional territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations around Vancouver, BC. I'm your host, Bernadine Fox, and this is the show that dares to change how we think about mental health. Welcome to Rethreading Madness.
When I've never been further, knowing what the hell I'm gonna do. When I can't seem to find my way, under or over or through.
You are listening to Rethreading Madness on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Bernadine Fox, and today's programming is in memory of David Roche, who passed away on May 27th of this year. David was a father, a husband, a community builder, who was beloved by all who knew him, including me. I met him when he arrived to perform in the 2001 Kickstart's Disability Arts and Culture Festival, of which I was a board member and part of the organizing committee. Born with a facial difference, he called himself an inspirational humorist. He was a keynote speaker, a solo performer, a storyteller, a storytelling coach, an actor, a filmmaker, an author, and a pioneering voice for people with facial differences in the disability culture. Through storytelling, comedy, and public speaking, he challenged ableism and championed acceptance, inclusion, and dignity. David recognized that everyone feels disfigured in some way, and he taught people from all walks of life how to find their inner beauty. In 2022, David was appointed to the Order of Canada, the country's highest civilian honor, for his pioneering contributions to disability art and culture, and for promoting acceptance, inclusion, and diversity across Canada and the United States. It was directly after that he came to Rethreading Madness and sat down with us to have this chat. David died following surgical complications and wanted to be remembered for cheerleading others. I hear that his tombstone will read, "He encouraged." There is a transcript that goes along with this program. You can find it by following the links on our website at www.rethreadingmadness.ca. This interview was done in 2022 when Rethreading Madness was called Both Sides Now. And here's David Roche. You're listening to Both Sides Now on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Bernadine Fox, and today I have the pleasure of chatting with my good friend David Roche, who is, well, let's just say you're a very unique individual. We could say that.
Thank
You
you.
like that, did you? So David, let's talk about who you are so everybody knows. You are somebody who has spoken at the White House. You've headlined at the Olympics Arts Festival in Australia. You're a keynote speaker. You're an author of a book. You've done work with your wife, Milena, who is, I should say Milena Blavin, who is worked with you on video and for teenagers in schools. And most recently, you've been granted the Order of Canada. So why did all that happen? Who are you?
Oh,
Oh,
I just got the Order of Canada, and over the last 2-3 weeks, I've been inundated with wonderful congratulations and approvals and cheers and remembrances, and it's giving me a sense of who I am in a new way. I feel like all along the various things that I've done, that I've been part of disability arts and part of other things, a pioneer in many ways. I always felt I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I did what I did, but I'm hearing from people a validation over the last 33 years as a performer that I have a very powerful presence, because people remember me not only from being on stage or in films, but from meeting me on the bus.
yes.
in the checkout line.
Yes.
So there's something that I have that I don't know what it is. I'm a nice guy. I'm a
You
nice
are a nice guy.
guy. And that kind of counterpoints my facial difference.
Hmm.
Um, I have a whole theory about that anyway.
So let's just, before we go farther, what the Order of Canada said, that you received this because of your pioneering contributions to the field of disability art and for promoting acceptance and inclusion and diversity across Canada and the United States. And that kind of goes to what you're talking about. You are a nice guy, but you do have a presence, and your presence is much more than what facial difference you live with. It's about your heart and how you approach people and how you approach life, and it is really, what's the word? It's awe-inspiring, David. That's what it is. It's awe-inspiring. So let's get some words down. There's different words people use: disfigurement, facial difference, visible difference. Which do you use? I think I heard you say facial difference, but is that your preference?
That's kind of the generic term. Sometimes I say facially disfigured when I want to be more clear.
Okay.
Um, but if the fallback is facial difference.
Okay. All right. So, face, when we talk about faces, we grow up with our face, we hate our face, we have all kinds of relationships to our faces, we try and make our faces other things. Our face is very much a part of our identity and our sense of self. But your face is a little different. So tell me, what caused your facial differences?
Well, I started out in the womb with a facial difference.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, some genetic difference that appeared initially as swollen veins on my left eyelid at birth, and the doctor said, well, they're going to go away in a few days, and it's been many thousand days and they haven't gone away.
Right.
They've gotten larger so that the left side of my face is kind of bulging with veins gone wild.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's in my mouth and on the side of my head, my throat, etc. A little bit on the right side as it's grown over the decades. And then at age 1 at the Mayo Clinic in the US, I had my lower lip removed, which was beginning to swell. And as my father said, it looked like a bunch of small Concord grapes.
Oh.
So they cut that off. And then they irradiated me. This is 1945.
1945. Wow.
Radiation was a miracle cure, and
Right.
it was everywhere. They irradiated kids with tonsillitis.
Oh my God.
Anyhow, that they did not really know what they were doing. They
No.
did not know how to target it. They did not know how to measure it. So the whole lower part of my face stopped growing, and the left side of my skull, if you palpate it, it feels like Swiss cheese.
Oh.
So it's like a strange and wonderful face that I have.
Well, describe your face then. For this is radio. People can't actually see what you're describing. Can you describe your face?
On the left side of my face, you'll see mottled veins of actually very lovely colors of red violet and blue violet and a
Mm.
darker purple.
Mm-hmm.
And they bulge out, and my chin is small and kind of receding. My
Mm-hmm.
tongue is dark purple.
Mm.
And I do not have a lower lip, but I have sort of not an artificial lip. And then on my left temple, the concavity where they removed what they said was a precancerous lesion when I was 10 years old, and I have dentures, which actually are very nice dentures.
You have dentures.
Did this affect your teeth then?
Yeah, the radiation affected my teeth, and they did not grow so well. So there's a myriad of things going on my face. It looks like God was a tattoo artist.
Yes, and he had a strange idea about art.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you grew up in the States then?
I was born just outside Chicago. My dad was born in Nova Scotia, so I am a Canadian citizen since 1947, I guess, and dual citizenship. Yeah, now I've been in on the Sunshine Coast of DC
Right.
since 2003. So I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, we like having you here.
Yeah.
It feels better. The world on this side of the continent feels better knowing that you're up there.
Well,
So you grew up in Chicago then, or did you grow up in Canada?
I grew up just outside Chicago.
Just outside Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, in the area around Gary, Indiana, industrial, probably the most polluted place on the planet at that time.
Well,
And then later on, I followed the hippie trail out to San Francisco,
mhm.
and then I got into Canada.
And as a child, I know this may be a painful question, but it's one that, I feel people want to understand these things. As a
Yeah.
child, were you bullied, or did you have people around you who were more progressive and understanding, or what happened? I mean, 1945 is not at a time when people were understanding these things.
Although
Mm.
it became a post-war period, and that was a time when actually uh, people with disabilities were seen and in some ways honored, especially when they were veterans. So that was a step forward for
Oh, yes.
disability rights in some ways. But no, I actually I was not bullied. I'm the oldest of 7 children, and nobody ever talked about my face at home. When I started in school, I asked my mother, people were asking about me and what should I tell them? And she said, oh, just tell them it's a birthmark.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's what I did. Then when I went to school, I was in a Catholic school.
Mm.
And I got kind of the sweeter side of Catholicism, where the nuns would tell us, "You are a soul.
Mm-hmm.
You are a child of God," and that uh, sunk into me. And every once and I so I had school. I had the same school for 8 years. I had the same neighborhood, that kind of thing, and I benefited from that, and it was total denial.
Total denial. Well, it
Yeah,
sounds like really do you think your family was in denial? It doesn't sound like your mom was in denial.
not in denial. It put me in denial, which was
Oh.
great in certain ways. I never thought of myself as being different or disfigured. I played ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was the smartest kid in the class.
Right.
I did all those kind of good things. We're talking pre-adolescence here, of course.
Right.
Uh, and so I was treated well. I go to talk in schools nowadays, and kids talk a lot more about being bullied.
Yes.
I just think I benefited from that, and I was born in 1944.
Mm-hmm.
My father was in a German prisoner of war camp.
Mm.
My mother did not know whether he was going to come back.
Wow.
And I was born into a family that was my mother, her 2 sisters were teenagers, and my grandmother, Nana, and grandfather, and Blackie the dog. It was a matriarchy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so loved.
Yes, I bet
Born
you
in
were.
wartime with the fear and deprivation, and here comes little David.
Yeah.
so I benefited from that. I know I did. I mean, I don't remember it, but
It
I,
sounds like you had a lovely childhood.
I actually had a lovely
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah. I envy you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So as you grew as a teenager and stuff, did the bullying ever start, or did you literally manage to escape all of the stuff that most kids deal with these days when they're different?
Well, I managed to escape it for a rather different reason. First of all, I thought I'm the oldest child in an Irish Catholic family. Here's the kids: David, Kathleen, Patrick, Kevin, Michael, Teresa, Irish Catholic, right? Um, and I was the oldest. I was a good boy. I was an altar boy. I was really smart, well behaved. You should be a priest, David. My Aunt Rose leaned over my cradle, as legend goes,
Mm.
and said, "This boy is destined to be a bishop."
Ah.
Well, thank God that did not come true. I went to the interviewed at a seminary, Holy Cross Seminary at Notre Dame University.
Mm-hmm.
I told them I loved Jesus and I wanted to be a priest, and these two priests told me, "You're too ugly to be a priest."
Oh my God. I never that's shocking to me. I did not expect that.
Well, nor did I because the nuns and what I had grown up coddled spiritually in that and in denial. But here I am, 13 years old.
Right.
And when the priest talks, the priest is transmitting the word of God. That was
Yes.
the belief. And here's me, I'm hearing God telling me that I'm a monster.
Oh.
So that actually was the worst thing that ever happened to me regarding my facial difference. It just came out of nowhere.
That would
Uh,
be a betrayal on so many levels for you since you were born and raised in the church.
a total betrayal, a total
Yeah.
shock. And yet, as I look at it today, I say, thank God.
Mm.
Oh,
Because,
because I got to live the life that I've lived.
yeah.
I think, given what was happening in the Catholic Church at that time, that would have been deadly. I
Mhm.
did end up in a different seminary for 4 years. Then they kicked me out because they said I was the worst influence they ever had. That was due to a sense of humor, actually.
Hmm.
So in the seminary, all male, avoiding uh, uh, interaction, taking on that Catholic point of view, women
Mhm.
are, well, you're either a Madonna or a whore.
I'm
You know?
sorry. So women are what? Or the Madonna or the whore?
Yeah,
Wow. That's true.
that's the two choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then and all this while then I have alcohol and
Mhm.
that alcohol and denial.
So we're going to take a little break here, David. But when we come back, let's talk a little bit more about that. Okay. So we'll be
Okay.
right back, folks.
What do Alan Parsons, Greg Lake, Roger Waters, and Peter Gabriel all have in common? A poster of me on their wall! I'm Steve Ferguson, your 21st century schizoid man, inviting you to join me on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock here on 100.5 FM Co-op Radio. I do a weekly show looking at the very best of progressive and experimental rock, and would love for you to tune in. I've got prog metal, art rock, math rock, fusion jazz, and psychedelia all packed into my weekly hour. You want it? I've got it. Just name it, I'll play it. That's Prog Rock Alley on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. 100.5 FM CFRO, Vancouver's Co-op Radio. See you there.
You're listening to Both Sides Now on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Bernadine Fox, and I'm sitting down, well, virtually sitting down, talking with David Roche, which, if you were listening to the last segment, know that he is this incredible powerhouse that just recently was awarded the Order of Canada. And we were talking about his childhood, and I just want to continue on with that a little bit more. Most kids Well, first off, I just want to say that the idea of you following the hippie trail is an amazing image in my mind. I hope you have pictures from then, do you? Because
I have one picture.
one
Uh,
picture. Well, I'd love to see it, David. Um,
that, I don't think so.
no? Oh, okay. That's okay
But
too.
maybe in private sometime.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Um, so I did a little reading. I don't do too much reading for these things because I like to learn along with my audience about things. But I did find that facial differences can cause higher rates of PTSD, body image issues, having to deal with stigma. They can lower the quality of people's lives, lower their satisfaction of their life, and create problems in their marriage and social and work life. It doesn't sound like you've had to deal with that, which I'm really grateful for you. But I do know that kids these days in schools do deal with that. Um, how did you how did you move past this? You talked about alcohol at one point.
Um, Somehow I retained a core of self-confidence. I think it was fueled by a sense of responsibility. And now that comes partially from being Catholic and then being in a seminary, partially from being the oldest of 7 kids. And that's my natural bent. So I did good things. I helped start childcare centers.
Wow.
Was one of the co-founders of the childcare switchboard and single parent resource center of San Francisco. And there we started out as hippies. We thought we were going to teach the mothers of San Francisco how to have cooperative childcare. But when we started answering the phones, we found out the truth about the lives of single mothers. They didn't want cooperative childcare. They wanted childcare. They wanted a job. They
Yeah.
wanted support.
Yeah.
And they did not get what they needed.
No.
So that affected me. Anyhow, I did. Why did I do that? Why did I participate in that? That's what I don't know. I just did the best that I can understand it at this point is that I was always visceral, always and coming from the heart. My feelings, I live in my body a lot. I still do. I dance, I do yoga. I'm quite physically healthy, amazingly so.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, I think that I did things because I cared and I wanted to be responsible. I mean, when you think of it, I worked at the childcare switchboard for 8 years, and I'm picking up the phone every day and I'm listening to the truth of single parenthood, which is 98% single motherhood. And then women walk into our office and they have black eyes. And so what happened? Oh, I'm leaving him. It's over. Oh, well, let's see what we can do. 2 months later, back again. I'm in a swing. What the heck? Come on, what's going on? So what I'm doing here is I'm learning about the patriarchy, okay?
Right.
I'm learning about what women have to deal. Okay, so there I am, Dina. I'm a good boy. You know, that's my first feeling about getting the Board of Canada award. I thought, oh, yay, I've been a good boy. Well, that's going back to Catholicism, of course.
Well, and also, I would venture to say, you correct me if I'm wrong, but you lived with women and women who loved you, and you would have felt in your core that you were a good boy. You would have had a core of self-confidence that came right from the moment you were born.
Really, I think that that's very true, and thank you for saying it. I felt lucky that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had okay, well, why not say it? in 8th grade, I was tested on the Stanford Dene IQ test and came out as having an IQ of 170.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
You're
my gosh,
brilliant.
I'm brilliant. So
Yes.
and it wasn't me, Kelly. What actually happened is I got pushed into this intellectual life. Well, you should be at least a lawyer. Well, now that you're not going to be a priest. And anyhow, there was that image that I was so intelligent, and I am very intelligent, you know, so I did fine on things like in 1966, I was out of college and looking for a job, and I had no focus. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I was trying to be a good boy. And they did not have computer education for programmers or anything like that. I took a programmer's aptitude test and I got 100%. I
Wow.
hated computers, but I got my first job. I earned more money than my father ever made in his whole life.
Yeah.
So where's the motivation in that? What? I don't know. It's my life is a puzzle, but I do think that I most always was following my heart, even under the influence of alcohol, which I continued drinking until I was in my 40s.
Right.
But meanwhile, leading a good life. Amazing.
It does sound like that. I mean, and as much as you were doing that sort of in a way that had a label to it, i.e. as helpline or help situations for single parents, you're still doing that. That's what you're doing these days. So your life path has been on a trajectory that really never went off course, even though you changed it a lot. You're still doing work that is helping other people.
I'm sorry, I just can't help it. I don't know. Yeah, I do. And another part of that, Danny, is how I have always, and even in the, the times of denial and alcoholism, I always survived and thrived with friends. You look at it, a family of 7 children, the seminary, many other boys, all male Catholic school,
Right.
these communes, on and on, always with other people.
Right.
And with friends, with dear people. And there's the heart again, I'm just
Right.
reaching out, people reaching to me. That's how I live. I don't understand the social media and stuff like that, how people can go without flesh.
What do you mean go without fresh?
Flesh.
Oh, flesh. Yes. Well, social media is all about the selfie and their life and putting it out there. And, it's taken me a long time to get it as well. I'm in my 60s now. And so it really is a medium for younger people. They get it. They understand it. I struggle with it myself personally. I feel it's a necessary thing to do because it is how people learn about things you're doing, but it is something I still struggle with. Let me just check the time here. Let me see where we're going. So how long did you work in this organization? You said for 8 years. When did you start moving towards being a humorist, I think you call it?
Well, there's another period at the working in the Single Parent Resource Center led me to become involved politically, which was initially with the Mayor's Committee on Child Care in San Francisco, but that was filled with people who just wanted to benefit from it themselves. That led me to becoming a Marxist, Leninist, an actual communist, which I did for 12 years. That was how I thought that I could help to change the world.
Right.
It was an organization founded by 10 women. So I thought, well, that must be good. Well, it doesn't always work that way.
It didn't work out, hey?
Didn't work out. It didn't
No.
work out. And I came out of that. I became a massage therapist. I thought I wanted to be a nurse until I found out what it is that nurses actually do. Um, and
Yes.
then, yeah, then what? Then here I am. Then what happened was, in that spiritual and physical devastation after the communist organization that I was in fell apart, I was never a true believer. I was a true doer. But I ended up, I weighed 115 pounds, and I'm little.
Oh, wow.
Nobody should be that little. I was drinking heavily. I was smoking a couple packs of cigarettes. I was smoking dope, and I was eating crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to work my way through that. And I did. So
So let me ask you something. Having an IQ of 170, do you think that sometimes alcohol, I mean, I think it's sometimes painful to be that smart in this world sometimes. You know, you see things and you understand things that other people, it goes right over their heads. Do you think the alcohol and all of that is a part of numbing that a bit so that it's not so difficult to live in our world that is full of really horrible things?
I think that was certainly part of it, Bernie. You know, at that stage, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just drinking.
Yeah.
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 So that helped. And you know, in the world of disability and facial difference, I shouldn't. I think I have read that there is a higher susceptibility for dealing with life through alcohol and drugs. And sometimes that can be brought on by prescribed medications. Anyhow, it happens. But
Yeah.
I came through that, and then I quit drinking, and then in a period of 7 months, I quit alcohol, marijuana, coffee, and cigarettes. Although
Wow.
I'm back on coffee now, to be honest.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't drink coffee? I mean, it's just, I know there's lots of people out there that says coffee is really bad for you, but I don't understand. I've drank coffee since I was 23. That's about 40 years now. And I have never, ever even imagined quitting coffee. I don't see it as having any negative side for me. And given that I live with chronic fatigue, you know, staying awake is paramount to my life. So coffee remains something that is a necessary thing, but I don't see any downside. Did you find a positive part of not drinking coffee? Did it come with?
I was just trying to clean myself up. And then in the next year, I went to massage school, and there I met Marlena, as we both volunteered, which is another pioneer thing, at a hospital in San Francisco that we were two of the founders of the first massage therapy program in a hospital in the United States.
Great.
That also became a national model. And that was wonderful. And
Yes.
Marlena was great. So I was clean and sober, and I had love.
Yes. And yeah, I know. It's wonderful. I love the way you and Marlena love each other. It's makes me believe in love. That's what it does. It makes me believe in love. We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about some more of the stuff about which fuels the work that you do these days, which is important work. So don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM, has over 90 different shows produced by over 350 community members? This wide range of programming produced by our diverse group of programmers ensures that we have a show you'll love. We have shows on feminism, spirituality, disability rights, politics, unions, and parenting. We play jazz, indie rock, reggae, blues, and folk. We broadcast in a dozen different languages and have more First Nations programs than any other radio station in Vancouver. Find your show on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. all different, all the time.
That love was meant for beauty queens and high school girls with clear skin smiles who married young and then retired. The Valentines I never knew, the Friday night charades of youth were spent on one more beautiful. At 17 I learned the truth. And those of us with ravaged faces, lacking in the social graces, desperately remained at home, inventing lovers on the phone who called to say, come dance with me, and murmured vague obscenities. It isn't all it seems at 17. A brown-eyed girl in hand-me-downs, whose name I never could pronounce, said, pity please the ones who serve, they only get what they deserve. In the rich relation, hometown queens marry into what they need with a guarantee of company and haven for the elderly. Remember those who win the game, they lose the love they sought to gain. In Devonshire's quality and dubious integrity, the small town eyes will gape at you in dull surprise when payments due exceed accounts received at 17. To those of us who knew the pain of Valentines that never came, and those whose names were never called when choosing sites for basketball, it was long ago and far away. The world was younger than today, dreams were all they gave for free to ugly duckling girls like me. We all play the game when we dare to cheat ourselves at solitaire, inventing lovers on the phone, repenting of the lives unknown. They call and say, come dance with me, and murmur vague obscenities at ugly girls like me at 17.
You're listening to Both Sides Now on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Bernadine Fox, and I am chatting with David Roche, most recent recipient of the Order of Canada for his work around disability arts. And more particularly, David, let's get into the heart of what you do and why you do it. The thing that you said once upon a time, which I don't know why it never occurred to me, because it should have occurred to me, is that people who have body disfigurements or facial differences are often cast in our popular culture as the monster. So it was an important thing for me to get. I don't understand why I never understood it before, or didn't see it before. And it's part of those things. It's like racism. It becomes normalized to the point where you think it's right. And so I want you to talk about that. And how did you get on to doing this? What I can imagine what fueled you to do it, but how did it start?
Uh, I was in a relationship with Marlena
Mm-hmm.
when we first met, and we were having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
And that was ending. The affair started, that was changing into a relationship. And, well, here's the truth of the matter. Marlena said, honey, we should have a monogamous relationship. And I said, wait a minute, you're married. What do you mean monogamous?
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, we don't have sex anymore. And I said, you don't have sex anymore? Well, hardly ever. Hardly ever? Well, I don't like it.
Oh.
Anyhow, I felt like, okay. And so I agreed to that. And that turned out to be a good decision. But I also felt, okay, I need to take care of myself. I'm putting all my energy into this relationship. And I had been in Alcoholics Anonymous, and there a friend of mine started classes in the humor of recovery. And he said, don't tell jokes, just tell the truth about your life.
Right.
That's what's funny. And so I started doing that. And it turned out well. And I started making little bits of money, and then I started building on it. I started out, I thought I was a comedian. I told jokes about my face.
Mm-hmm.
Hated that.
Hmm.
Hated it. But once I started being more human, people liked it. Here's
Mm-hmm.
my secret. I go on stage and I look definitely disfigured, very unusual. And there's that kind of silence in the room, a couple hundred people in the audience. And I say, okay, when I count to three and point to you, I want everyone here to say, what happened to your face?
Mm-hmm. I
And,
remember that. I've been in that audience.
and I do, and they say it, and they love it. And right away, I've established a relationship, and I'm a shape shifter.
Hmm.
I go from being disfigured, takes me about 10 to 12 minutes, and all of a sudden, I'm this incredibly attractive person up there.
Hmm. It's
And
true.
you know what I've done? I've I've done like a lesson for them,
Mm-hmm.
because I've learned everybody feels disfigured. Everybody has some little place inside themselves where they feel guilty, ashamed, body shamed, stupid, fat, ugly, dyslexic, whatever kind of thing, in addition to uh, uh, racial and indigenous prejudices, and of course, the old favorite, misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everybody feels that way.
It's true. Little girls, I don't know about little boys, but little
Oh,
girls grow up looking at magazine covers, and their celebrities that they know that have all been photoshopped to look
oh,
some idealized way of being beautiful, and it just reinforces the notion that they're not enough, they're not pretty enough. So we live in a society that, yeah, you're right. It's universal, this sense of not being right in our bodies.
and and when they see me, they see someone who is disfigured but feels confident and beautiful. And
Mhm.
that is so fundamentally, deeply exciting to them. They don't necessarily know what's going on, but they are seeing that they too could feel that way.
Mhm.
This is the hidden benefit of
Right.
facial difference. We don't have, those of us who look so radically different and disfigured, if you will, we don't have to deal with the other thing. Well, we do have to deal with it, but we're forced inside to find our inner beauty. And that's an advantage.
Right.
That's an advantage that all you cute people don't have.
So that's why you call it a gift.
Yes, it is a gift, because I had to look inside myself to find who I am and my beauty. It's not like, okay, just like that. No, of course it takes time, just like with everything else.
Well,
But
and
you
also,
can-
sorry, go ahead.
I was saying you can build it. You can build that sense of yourself.
Don't you feel though you had to climb a mountain of monsters in popular culture that are all made up of people who are either have physical differences or are they use makeup and prosthetics to make the person look like they have physical differences? Isn't that a mountain out there that you're climbing sort of psychologically to get past it?
You're talking about Hollywood.
Yeah,
Well,
I am.
it's everywhere
I
because
know.
that little place of fear that you have inside yourself,
Mm-hmm.
the powers that they want you to feel afraid. Because if you feel afraid, you're going to dye the makeup. If you feel afraid, you're going to get clothes. If you feel afraid, you're going to work out. Or you're going to hide yourself. Or you're going to start drinking
Right.
on and on. You're
Right.
going to be, that's that place inside you. If you don't deal with it, that's where the predators come to feed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sexual, financial, political,
The
military,
bullies.
on and on.
Yeah.
Because they want you to be afraid. Fear is a good thing in our society.
Yeah.
And okay, Hollywood. I remember seeing the movie Wonder Woman a few years ago, and there's that Israeli actress who's like stunningly attractive, and then she's fighting the evil. But the evil turns out to be a woman with a facial difference. What? How can
Is
you
that the
have
woman that whose part of her face is gone and she wears a mask like Phantom
yeah.
of the Opera? Oh, okay, yes.
And the whole movie is about women powerful, yay. Okay, then women evil, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
F, 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 F. On and on. There's just a million different movies that and it's so lazy. And
It
say,
is.
yeah, so when they someone, yeah, well, here, just give them a Scott. Here's another one, The Lion King.
Right.
Evil person is named Scar.
Yes.
What kind of message is that to a child with plus talent, or with any kind of scar, or
Yeah.
any kind of difference? That evil is nicknamed Scar?
I know.
Give me, please. Okay,
So
I'm ranting now, sorry.
as somebody who's been, more aware of this than perhaps I have been, has there ever been an evil person who's, the most beautiful part of the cast and blonde hair and blue-eyed and symmetrical face and all that jazz? Have they cast anybody like that as the evil monster?
Well, they're trying to, but mainly they get jobs as politicians and CEOs. So they're not available to Hollywood. They're important, and I'm joking, of course. Once in a while you'll have some plasticized person who will be evil, but very rarely.
So they don't look they don't look real as
No,
in
they
their
don't look
beautiful self as evil. Isn't that interesting? Huh.
Yeah.
So you talk about your shadow side being on the outside. And this is what you're talking about, that lots of us have our shadow self that we hide, the part of us that feels disfigured and wrong and ugly. And so we're hiding that, projecting that we're beautiful. I do it all the time. I don't look in the mirror sometimes if I haven't put my makeup on, so I can go outside with this idea of what I look like. And because I can't see myself as I move through life, then I can hold on to that idea of what I think I look like. There were times during COVID when you hadn't gone out of your house for a couple of weeks and you hadn't changed your clothes in a couple of days and you hadn't brushed your hair because you didn't have to, or put on makeup. And I'd catch myself in the mirror and go, oh my Lord, best I not go out. But so what you're talking about is that's our shadow side. That's the part of us that doesn't feel beautiful, whether or not it's physically or emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a little kid ask me to ask you, where is that question? Oh, here it is. Cerebral palsy. And wanted to know what you would do if kids didn't want to hang out with you. And I know you're much older than kids and stuff, but what would you say to a kid like that who's asked that question?
The kids who don't want to hang out with you, there's no reason to hang out with them at all. Keep your eyes open for people who have your level of intelligence, your kind of heart. There are people like that. And when they tell you that you're great, you have to believe them, and you take it in and you build slowly your own circle of support.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people, maybe, okay, you don't get to hang out with the really cute, sexy kids, but you can actually hang out with a lot better people than that.
Yeah, and
So let's
really,
look at it. Circle of support, slowly build it, and believe it when people tell you that you're great.
yes, that is the hardest part sometimes for us
Yeah,
fragile people with fragile egos. Definitely. And I still struggle with that, wanting to be friends with somebody who I get off the phone with and I feel horrible every time. I keep wondering, why are you doing this? Stop doing this. So it is a hard lesson to learn. I'm hoping that kids are learning it much better, faster than I am. So what is next for David? What
What's
happens
next?
now?
We have a year-long project, Marlena and I, called the Tower of Facial Distance. We're going to have helped start a Speakers Bureau with the Children's Craniofacial Association. There are a couple of speakers in there, Lashira Dobson and Jasmine Gray, who we want to put forward as representatives of a new level of leadership. The power of facial distance is that we do know that we are good because we have had that gift of being pushed inside ourselves.
Right.
Not everybody, but a lot of us
Yes.
have. And now there is a global community of people with facial differences formed on social media a lot. And we are trying to take steps to move forward with that, to encourage people to push. We're pushing like our film, we're pushing these speakers, all kinds of things. And we're going to have a world premiere in spring, probably in June or July, from all over the world, where we're going to present the truth about facial difference, that we know things about the human condition that regular people, the able-faced, if you will,
I love that. The able-faced.
don't know.
Right.
We have something to offer you, so listen up.
Yes. Yeah. That's wonderful. And is this a forum that you're going to be doing, or a panel, or a conference, or what do you mean by premiere?
Well, we'll show the film. We'll have
Okay.
speakers. I'm sure we'll have panels. We'll involve organizations from other parts of the world on panels. We're building at this point. We have half a year to build towards it, and we'll see what it turns out to be.
That's wonderful.
Like I say, it's going to be, of course, this is online, and this
Right.
is Zoom, but it's called The Power of Facial Difference.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll pay attention to that. Let us know when that's happening and come back on and chat with us about that, so that we can let people know it's happening out there. You also have been doing the Church of the 80% Sincerity, and are you still doing that, or is that something that is?
I realized I want to start that again. I did that years ago. I started the Church of 80% Sincerity in a dance studio in San Francisco. It was nothing but storytelling and singing. and people loved it. And by the end of the summer, we had like 35 people every Sunday morning. I'm going to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just realizing that, partially as a result of what I've heard from people after the Board of Canada award. So I'm excited about that. We'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm writing, and I'm teaching storytelling with critical kudos people with so-called intellectual disabilities. I'm teaching storytelling at local high schools when I can, when the door is open.
Yes.
And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I do lots of little things. The pandemic has cut it short a lot, but that's fine. And I'm comfortable online.
Good.
So we'll see what happens. I'm open. The whole thing of getting all this approval is like, yes, it's validated my past life, but it's also encouraged me like, well, David, you're not done yet. You're a
No,
good boy,
no,
but
you're
now
not
you
done
can
yet.
you can be a very good boy.
No, you're not done until people stop saying things like, oh, how tragic it is she died. She was so beautiful. Or she can't go to jail. She's too beautiful for jail. Or things like that. Until
Yeah.
those things aren't being said, you're not done. Absolutely. So thank
Okay.
you, David, so
Yeah,
much for the
yeah.
work that you're doing.
Thank
And
you
for-
very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming and chatting with me. And we'll be right back, folks.
Thanks.
Tanuyap. Quiget Yuans Queensna. Hi everybody, my name is Quiget Yuans. I'm a member of the Squamish Nation and the Yagalanas clan of the Haida Nation. You're listening to Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. We live, work, play, and broadcast from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations.
You've been listening to Rethreading Madness on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM. I'm Bernadine Fox, and that's our show. You've just heard a 2022 interview with David Roche, who at the time had just won the Order of Canada. As said at the beginning of this program, David passed away recently. Our world has lost part of its humanity. Music today was by Ulrich Aguilera and Joni Mitchell. And as always, my thanks goes out to you for joining us today. Stay safe out there. You've just listened to Rethreading Madness, where we dare to change how we think about mental health. We air live on Vancouver Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. or online at coopradio.org. If you have questions or feedback about this program, or want to share your story, or have something to say to us, we want to hear from you. You can reach us by email, rethreadingmadness@coopradio.org. This is Bernadine Fox. We'll be back next week. Until then.